I scrolled down, waiting for it to turn blue.
Um, let's wait for Dave to put that picture up. Fuck you. No more.
Oh man.
Dude, man,
I can't believe we've never talked about this place before.
I'm really surprised we haven't.
That's very interesting.
It is. It's strange also. But I'm excited to talk about it tonight. This is a location. I think it is worthy of a score, worthy of Spirits of Spirits for sure.
Yes, absolutely worthy. This place, I honestly can't believe we're on season 4, not, and this is the first time we're talking about it. Of all the haunted locations that we've talked about in 3 seasons, we waited till season 4 to talk about this, and I don't even understand. The only thing I could say is that we never went to Rhode Island, and we were sticking with states or whatnots, and we just never got there.
Yeah, we never got to Rhode Island. We didn't hit that state. We hit Maine, we hit Massachusetts because we hit Boston.
We hit New York. I mean,
we hit New York. But yeah, we never hit Rhode Island, and I'm like, we did Amityville, we did the Exorcist house, but we didn't do the Conjuring house. And I'm like, okay, we've got to do this one. This needs to happen.
Yeah, especially with
speaking of
it. Let's go ahead and roll that intro, Dave. Let's get into this place. Let's
get into this place. All right, Spirits of Spirits in 5, 4, 3, 2.
What's up, everyone? Welcome into another episode of Spirits of Spirits. This is season 4, episode 8, The Conjuring House. I am your host, Ghost, Mr. John Watkins. And everybody knows and loves the host with the most, Mr. David Lowe.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for joining us as the Spirits of Spirits podcast presents season 4, episode 8, The Conjuring House.
Yeah,
we're gonna get into this. I'm excited.
That's crazy. That's just
so excited. I forgot to open my beer.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready.
Reed is in the house saying, "What's
Reed?
up,
yeah, what's up, brother?"
Emmett and Marvin joined on the Instagram, but they bowed out already. Evidently, they didn't like your intro, Dave.
Oh, fuck those guys in. No. Yeah. So I got the Modelo Negra going on. What do you got going on tonight, brother?
I'm drinking whatever I got. So I'm drinking a little Sapporo, got some Dos Equis, maybe some hard liquor a little bit later. Who knows?
Oh, all right. So it's leftover night. I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just still baffled. This is the first time talking about this. Oh, Rachel's on the Instagram. What's up, Rachel?
What's up,
first
Rachel?
time we're talking about the Conjuring House. This is probably one of the most famous places.
What's up, Bill?
And who created Albuquerque has died. Restaurant in peace.
Are you afraid?
Oh, what's up, Bill? Yeah, I mean, this is probably one of the most famous locations out there,
At least
and
the date now, because
yeah,
it's, since the movie came out in 2013,
yeah,
now this house has become really popular as
yeah,
far as paranormal investigations go.
yeah. I mean, and there's been some crazy investigations on there by a couple different groups, famously known on YouTube,
Mhm.
and I'm telling you, they've had some weird shit happening. I mean, just to top off what's already going on in this house, the stuff that they picked up during their investigations was crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, I've watched hours of footage on these investigations, and I'm like, what the hell? And this isn't the first investigation I see the Conjuring House either. I saw one not too about a year
Figure.
back about this place where a couple guys went up there and had some weird shit happening up there where they stayed almost a week in the place. So this is I don't know, man. This is
Olivia.
hey Olivia. Uh
Bored.
that's an exciting one to talk about. I mean, I'm interested to see where the scoring lands when we get down to the guts of it at the end here, but at the beginning, I don't want to give too much away because Dave is gonna probably play an awesome video that will kick everybody else off of Instagram.
Everybody else, yeah, nobody else will watch. Oh, fuck that. We'll just get off Instagram now because some shit's playing.
Yeah, I this is gonna be a hard one to start with because the
Idiot.
history is crazy on this too. I mean, holy shit. Bill says 2022, the Harrisville Haunting, the Good Real Conjuring House. Very good program.
Yeah.
I have to check that one out. I think I've
Yeah.
seen that.
Yeah, no, I saw that. The investigations that have done, there have been a couple of investigations recently, and now the place not only rents out the house, but they have tents in the forest that you
Yeah,
can rent it.
you can go camping on
You can
this
go camping. You can go, or they call it gamping, GH,
glamping. Yeah,
camping.
yeah, yeah,
You
camping.
can ghost camp, so you can camp out in the woods and investigate out there.
Yeah.
Um,
I bet you they
there,
catch some crazy
but
shit out there.
there's some great stuff, and yeah, strange stuff.
Why is she here?
The thing's on what, 8 acres of property that you can
Yeah,
go investigate.
yeah.
That's some pretty good ground right there that you can go have fun on.
That's some good stuff. All right. So when I did the history on this, there's a whole bunch of history about, of course, the Perrin family, and that's kind of the main
Yeah.
focus of the Conjuring movie and stuff like that. So I took that out and just stuck to the history of the land,
I'm
when the
lost.
house was built,
Okay.
that kind of
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah.
So it turned out pretty good. Nice, concise little history video, and then we can get into the Perrin family, all the stuff that's happened with them, and then the investigations that we've captured and whatnot. But let's say we get into this history video, get this out of the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
And
let's knock that out the park and pick it up from there.
appreciate it. So I apologize, Instagram, for signing out from this, but
Julie.
here it and our Julie.
Tears.
Yeah, everybody's gonna be crying on Instagram because this is gonna be playing. But let's take a look at the history of the Conjuring House, also known as the Old Arnold Estate. Check this out. The Conjuring House, also known as the Old Arnold Estate, is an authentic colonial home located in Harrisville, Rhode Island. It has become one of the most famous haunted locations in the United States in recent years. While the hunting of the Perrin family was just over 50 years ago, the house has a history that spans centuries, and the land itself for millennia. For thousands of years, the Nipmuc and other local Native American tribes occupied this area, until Roger Williams purchased the land in 1636 as a part of the establishment of Rhode Island and Providence plantations. Williams was exiled from the Massachusetts Bay Colony for advocating the freedom of religious worship and the separation of church and state. he came to this area and bought the land in 1636, believing that the best way to purpose the land was to deed large parcels to those that would follow him and his teachings. The parcels were deeded in 1680. The land was surveyed by John Smith, one of the original Virginia colonists. The land where the house stands now was originally parceled at over 1,000 acres, sold to the Richardson family. The 14-room farmhouse on the property now was built in 1736. During that time, women were not allowed to own property. As such, the land would pass through marriage to the nearest male. And with that, the Richardsons passed the land to the Arnold family, then the Butterworths, and to the Kenyons. All that leading to the Perrin family buying the house in 1971. Altogether, 8 generations of the same extended family lived and died in that house, some of which never left. Once the Perrins moved in, they started having paranormal experiences almost right away. Subtle at first, but they got progressively worse over time. The Perrin family lived in that house for 10 years, but once they left, the hauntings stopped, at least for them. We're conjuring up a review of this house and the land. History has a story to tell, and we are ready to listen.
Wow. Wow. That building that's standing there today,
Mm-hmm.
with the name Perrin Abnormal on there, you have it. The
You
paranormal.
really got something there.
Good job, Bill. That house has been the same house since 1736. That means that house is 40 years older than the United States.
Yeah. Then the Declaration of Independence was signed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The birth of the United States, 1776. That's when we all, not America, the United States.
Mm-hmm.
It's 40 years older than our country, basically. And that's just a crazy thought.
How are you?
And when he bought this place, I mean, he was talking about doing it was plantation land.
Yeah. No, he was talking about plantation lands, and his belief was that if you are of the same mind as me, if you're thinking the same way I want to teach, then I'm going to give you a plantation. You're going to be able to have your own thing.
Yeah, which
so
led up to
all this land.
The separation of church and state and freedom of religion. That's like the big thing. I mean, that's kind of what started off the Revolutionary War, right? And being taxed to no
but
end.
But at the time, he was driven. He was driven out of Massachusetts. They were like, no, you're not allowed to have those thoughts.
Yeah.
So we're going to send you away. So he went off to Rhode Island and started his thing
like that.
Yeah. and then it became that they were all thinking like that.
Yeah. And then pretty much the rest of the country kind of took a hold of his ideals and started running with them. And the next thing you know, I mean, this thing survived this house survived the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, 2 other wars, if I remember right. It's still standing.
There were wars and storms and
a multitude of hurricanes or typhoons, whatever you want to call them on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still standing. They don't build houses like that no more.
No. Occurrence.
Strange that this is one of the oldest homes in the U.S., yet in Europe, places like the Ram Inn was built 1145, way older. Well, yeah, I mean that's the old country. I mean we weren't even a country till 1776. We were still under British rule. We were part of Britain. I mean, it's
Jeff.
Well, hey, Jeff. It's
Jeff.
Yeah. I mean, there was mountain.
Jeff is with the press.
There are cave dwelling people here still at that time.
Yeah.
I just put it in perspective, they were building houses and riding in carriages and sailing the world. And in the Americas, they were still cave dwelling people here. Uh, that yeah, there's going to be a lot older buildings and over across the pond there, which makes some fantastic paranormal discussions, as the last three seasons have taught us. But this one's no joke either. I mean, you have paranormal activity all the way back to 1970 when the Perron family moved in. Now, that was the weird thing, though, right? Because a lot of research going into the Conjuring House, not necessarily seeing a lot of paranormal activity until they actually moved in. There was some weird shit going on with some owners, especially Bathsheba. Yeah.
Victor.
What she was doing, but and that's a crazy story in itself. I mean, she killed 4 of her kids, stabbing them in their head with a sewing needle.
Yeah.
That, we're having problems on Instagram again.
Well, shit. Yep, saw it.
Need help.
Yeah.
Yep, need help. But yeah, so now, even though the reports of paranormal activity didn't seem to begin until
You must leave.
the Perron family moved in, and I have a theory as to why.
I'm
there. And my theory is the Perron family is the first family that's outside of the family that owned the land initially, because all 8 generations before, going back all the way to the Richardson family in 1680, they were all of the same family or extended family, all the way up until the parents bought the property.
Yes. Yeah. Whether it be through marriage or whatnot. Yeah. It was all handed down the bloodline.
Right. So this was where the bloodline was no longer in charge of the land. And I believe that's why the activity that ramped up. But there is an intelligent spirit from one of the earlier families that is in that house.
There's actually 2, if I remember right.
Horses.
Yeah, there's one for sure that talks to everybody, and that's Abigail Arnold.
Yeah, Abigail Arnold's like the huge one in that place.
Yeah, she's the one that kind of introduces everybody to the spirits in the house. She's the spirit guide.
She is the guide, yeah.
She's the spirit guide in the house.
Military.
Hold that thought for a second.
Yeah, hold that thought, and the horses.
Because yes, there's military going on, but so I mean, I believe that there was probably activity before that, but because it was family and extended family, they were like, oh yeah, it's just, that's Aunt Abigail from 1720 that's still roaming around the house. They didn't really need to report that. But when the parent family, when the parent family showed up, and then shit started really happening, like bad to them.
Like there was no good haunt.
Yeah.
For the parent family. Abigail took a back seat and like, now y'all on your own. I don't know you.
Yeah, like you ain't family. But no, it was
Bathsheba came in and said, I'm fucking your world up.
Yeah. You have kids, we have a problem.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it did start subtle at first. So
it did.
A
little bit of poltergeist activity,
little bit of this and that, some
the mocking of the clapping game, which I found phenomenal. I was like, ooh. The mocking is where things kind of turned, right? Because like there was some like a little bit of poltergeist activity throughout the house. Things were being moved around, and you would hear maybe some voices and people talking, or someone saying there's dead soldiers in the wall.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. That was one of the kids, Cindy, kept hearing that at night.
How do you
Yeah.
feel?
Yeah.
And there was an interesting revelation in one of the investigations that I watched where they were talking about that. But Carolyn started noticing. Carolyn's the mom, and
Yes.
the focus of
Keep
what they
walking.
believe is the Bathsheba ghost was
Yes.
after Carolyn. That she would start noticing that her broom would go missing,
Yeah. The broom would go
or just
missing.
would moved from room to room on its own.
Yeah.
Um, the oldest daughter would hear the sound of scraping against the tea kettle on the
Yeah.
stove.
That's
Yeah, like
yeah.
scratching on the kettle. And then they would find small piles of dirt in the center of the kitchen floor right after they swept it.
Yeah. Yeah. That
So,
yeah, just little things that would make you go, "What the fuck?"
like, huh? Really? Yeah.
It's yeah, like the broom, like, I know I put that there.
Boots.
Boots. Maybe those were
Maybe they're
maybe
boots.
maybe that was mud tracking from the boots, maybe. So yeah, but yeah, Cindy was one of the daughters, heard the words, "There are 7 dead soldiers in the walls."
Yeah, 7 dead
And
soldiers,
and she would hear that every night over and over.
yeah. That would drive you crazy.
Yeah. The oldest daughter befriended a ghost that lived in her closet.
Now this was the boy, right?
This was the boy that was in
Yeah,
the closet.
yeah.
They nicknamed this boy Oliver.
Who turned out, when you look in the history, is not so little.
No, I didn't.
No, yeah. Not a little boy.
Not a little boy.
But in their death state, they make themselves appear as they believe they are, or as they
Okay.
want to appear. So, I mean, for
Very
example,
non-threatening.
there was a ghost here, in the area that would follow me, and I would just get these jumbled images. But because he was confused, like he had no idea where he was. But the guy was in a tuxedo, and he was like 40 years old.
Oh,
And I
wow.
was like, okay, what the hell is going on? And then finally, I realized that it was my neighbor
It's here.
Oh,
who had dementia, and he was put in a home and died in the home, in the hospice home.
but
And
you
had come back looking for his house, but he was still in this confused state.
oh,
So he had no idea who he was until I walked him to his house.
yeah.
And then, still to this day, I walk by that house and I'll see him looking at me from the window. But there was like months where I was like, okay, I was trying to figure out who this dude was because he kept following me. Like I could hear his footsteps behind me, and he kept giving me these weird images, like just
What's your name?
confusing stuff.
Oh,
And I would
okay.
talk to my wife about this, like, I don't know what the hell this guy's trying to tell me. And I don't know, and he has no idea where he is or what. But yeah, it turned out that was that guy. And I was like, wow, it was kind of a cool little epiphany when it came out.
I don't know who would be more confused.
Walls
You
hold
getting
secrets.
walls hold secrets. Interesting.
Interesting.
Walls hold secrets. I don't. Well, first let me finish what I was gonna say. I don't know who would be more confused in that situation. You seeing these jumbled up images, or the
Pathetic.
person that's still suffering from Alzheimer's because he hasn't regained himself yet. Probably hadn't regained himself because he wasn't at home.
He wasn't home because once he was home, then I got clear images from him. Like once he was home, he got his memory back.
Yeah, that could be very confusing. That'd be crazy. But walls hold secrets, Dave. That's interesting because
That's very relevant to what we're talking about here.
yeah, yes, the 7 deadly soldiers. Now, I don't know
Yeah.
if I saw the
Self
same
torture.
investigation that you did, but I haven't seen one that could explain the soldiers in the walls,
Well,
other than maybe hiding.
well,
But
here's
yeah.
here's the thing. And I don't know if I want to get to that point yet, but we're gonna do it anyway since you kind of segued to it.
Well, I didn't.
So I know walls hold secrets.
And
Yes.
rope torture.
Okay. So here's the thing. So part of the Pioneer Wagon Trail runs through the woods by the house, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So next to that trail is a stone wall that runs along the path.
Oh yeah, that's right. The house backs up
Yeah.
into it, right?
Right. Exactly. And it runs
It's
straight
here.
through the property line all the way down. And it's just a big long stone wall that's about 4 feet high.
It just said, dude. Like, yeah, dude. That's what we're talking about.
Dave's on the right track. So I've never heard it say dude before.
Sister.
What the hell? But at least it's not asshole. So
this is not custom-y yet. And again, no library. It can say whatever the hell it wants.
Say whatever it wants. But yeah, it's but anyway, when this paranormal group was and they were basically summoned outside into the woods.
Okay.
From the basement. So they were in the basement, and the let's just say the intelligent responses was telling them to come to the woods. Well, in particular, telling them to only send the girls to the woods. And they were like, no, we're not going to do that. How about if all of us go?
All right. I remember that. I know what you're talking about.
So how about if we all go? And it was like, fine, go ahead.
Karen.
So they all went down there. And as they were walking, they sent one of the girls by herself.
Yes.
And she got hit with something, like something came out in front of her from the woods.
Yeah.
And stepped out.
Yeah.
She hollered, the whole group ran down to her. And then when they got there, everybody said it felt like there was a dead body in the area.
Oh, I know that feeling all too well.
Yes. So that's when they went and they felt like, hey, they were like, there's 7 dead soldiers in the walls. Maybe they're not talking about the walls of the house.
Yeah.
Maybe they're talking about the wall that's along the road.
I don't know why. I just watched that like a couple days ago. I don't know why that's not clicking in my head.
Oh shit! Here comes the rain.
Then it started. I'm just gonna continue on with this investigation. Talking about it, tries separating them multiple times in this investigation.
Yeah, it tried splitting. Yeah, the entity tried splitting them off multiple times. Sending one of the guys to a different area of the basement by himself.
Yeah,
which there was a loud bang above him.
Yeah, and
they heard scratching.
Person, like they wanted a specific person to go there.
Yeah, pointed to the person.
I'm hiding.
Yeah, yeah, Bill. Oh, yeah. this.
Yeah. And then they heard scratching on the brick.
Yeah.
Behind them. Yeah. They were like, whoa. Like,
but I don't know, something got thrown at them too, didn't it? There was like a crash, but they couldn't tell where it came from.
Yeah, where something was thrown, but they couldn't tell where it came from. And there was another one, like when they first walked into the house, there was a crash from the basement, and they couldn't tell where that came from.
They couldn't tell where that came from either.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Okay. Figueroa's in LA. Apparently, they're getting some activity now.
Yeah. Our bad.
Sorry,
we have to revisit that one day.
we need to go back. I'd like to go there and just say, hey, have you guys had any recent activity? Last couple of years, anything major happen?
Oh, I like this one, Bill. How about the investigators sitting at the table and a shadow went by the door?
Yeah,
that was phenomenal. And I don't on that property, I don't think you can duck and hide somewhere fast enough with how fast you get to the door area.
I'm not sure.
Of where that was. And then there's an investigation where you have the back door and the front door, and they start knocking back and forth, which I thought was interesting. I was like, how the hell is it knocking in the back?
We love communicating.
And then seconds later, why, I love you communicating.
We love communicating.
Yeah. And then
Bro.
seconds later, before you can even get around the house, or a normal person could get around the house, it's knocking at the front door. It just kept going back and forth, and they would open, and then they opened up both doors at the same time, and then they closed them again at the same time, and the knocking happened again. I was like, oh shit. There's some cool, and the attic that gets turned into bed. Well, I don't necessarily I should call it an attic, because there is an actual attic in this place, if I remember right. But then you have
but there's a bedroom and the roof is slanted a little bit, like it's
yeah.
But yeah, there's that, and then there's an attic above it.
Yeah,
that's the other piece of that.
Yeah.
Eliminate.
Okay, we're not going to do that. No eliminations.
And in what's her name's room? The mom's room. I think
Carolyn's the mom.
No, Marilyn's room. Yeah. Marilyn. I wanted to say Mary for some reason. I knew that wasn't right. Marilyn's room. The rocking chair rocks by itself.
Can you hear him?
I can hear him. Yeah. Yeah, no, the rocking chair moves. There was, I mean, even
the balls moving.
Balls rolling by themselves. And gosh, there was like a whole bunch of stuff. Sound, of course, sounds of hands clapping, disembodied voices, balls rolling around. The mother would see the apparition of an old woman with her head cocked to the side.
This is who they presume to be Bathsheba.
Right. And they would smell
way hotter in real life than she was in the movie.
Yeah. They would smell rotting flesh all throughout the house.
Bathsheba is actually honestly known to have actually stabbed Marilyn with a sewing needle in her leg.
Yeah. I can use this.
And she still continues to mimic the clapping game.
Yes.
In the house. Okay. If you heard someone come up behind you,
I can't speak.
Would you go investigate where it was coming from? I mean, would you follow the clap?
Yeah, probably. I'm a white person. I'd probably follow it.
Because that's the game, right?
Yeah, that's the game. I mean, I wouldn't close my eyes and do any like Marco Polo crap, but I'd go and seek that clap out and see if I could find out where it came from. As long as it doesn't give me the clap, I'm okay.
Yeah. Well, they got penicillin now. We're all right.
Penicillin, they could cure that shit, but dude,
it's all throughout this house.
Yeah.
And then you have another investigation where you see a person, like full bodied person, sticking his head up.
Mm-hmm.
Little girl.
As people are talking, and nobody catches it.
Yeah.
And until they review the footage, you're like, what the fuck is that? Not the ghost clap. That shit will haunt you forever.
Lover.
Yeah, you'll keep that shit forever like luggage.
Not the ghost clap.
You don't want no ghost herpes, because that shit'll stay with you.
In the afterlife.
In the afterlife. So I took notes for this particular investigation that I was watching, and the one of the things that I noticed is, so they walk into the house and immediately go down to the basement, right? And almost instantly when they get down to the basement, the boiler overflows.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, and you could tell it's new, like new.
Yeah, it just started happening. Like right when they got down there, it started boiling over.
The overflow of the boiler started boiling over.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen a boiler, but there's this big, looks like a
Like
propane tank
yeah, like a
bottle
propane tank.
that
Yeah.
sits in line the water, and it's an overflow.
Yeah.
And that thing just starts. They had to turn the water off.
Yeah, they had to turn it off.
Why are you here?
I live here.
Talk about you.
But man, so that, and I mean, that was like as soon as they walked in the house, like, I had this urge to go to the basement. To go to the basement, this starts happening with the boiler.
Now, do you put that as coincidence? Because it is cold. The boiler's running. The furnace is running. You know, it. Do you put that with coincidence, or do you put that with the paranormal? Maybe his
I
life
can't.
happens all the time.
I can't dismiss that as possibly paranormal.
It seemed very. I mean, it seemed very. I don't.
Either you know, think about it this way. Either they. Yeah, it seems like, you know, there's, you know, this seems more than a coincidence to me. Either they went down there, and the reaction by the spirits down there overflowed the boiler, or because right away they had the urge to go down to the basement.
Yeah,
were they summoned to the basement because that was about to happen?
Like, hey, come check this out.
Like, hey, something's about to go wrong. Come down to the basement so you can catch it.
Bill says, was it broken or was this a one-time deal? This was a one-time deal.
They had never had any issues like that before. You saw the you know, the water stain on the floor, on the ground was slight. So it had just happened.
Brand new.
Brand spanking new. And the house is old and stuff, but they reported no issues before or since.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Very, like, it's very suspect. Can you put it to coincidence and say, you know,
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
This shit happens. And it does. You know, they do happen. The one thing I did notice is there was no burper on the overflow to let the air out, so stuff like that doesn't happen. I did notice that.
Knocking.
That wasn't there.
Yeah, there's plenty of knocking.
But still, at the same time, why did this happen now, and why hasn't happened since or before? Like, it's very coincidental, right? It's almost too coincidental that it happened, and they got in there like, man, we need to go into the basement. Like, they weren't in the main area for 2 minutes before they were going, we need to go to the basement.
Yeah.
Let's go to the basement.
They walked in, they're like, I have the urge to go to the basement, and they just went right down there.
And Bill says if it were a new system, there could have been air in the system. And that's what I was talking about. I did notice that there wasn't they didn't have a burper on there. So
the system looked new to me, but it probably wasn't. It wasn't 1700s or anything, but
no, it's not old. The copper pipes still look pretty good that was attached to it. I mean, it definitely, probably within the last 3 years, probably got redone, you know. It was the cleanest boiler system I've seen.
Clean. I mean, they took really good care of it.
But
they one of the cleanest basements I've seen too.
Yeah, well, they have people going in there all the time now, so I
must help.
Should have been out by then. No, I mean, it's just weird that, I mean, it could have been air in the system with no burper, created a backflow because they had no way for the air to escape and cause that issue to happen. Absolutely. But the coincidence of when it happened is why I say it's suspect. I can put it towards paranormal, but I can also say, hey, this is just a plumbing issue.
But you can weigh the odds and say, okay, the odds of that happening right as a paranormal investigation team comes in right after they enter the basement.
Yeah.
There's a lot of points there where you're like, okay, I'm starting to feel like this is more than just
and it was no different nothing had changed from when the last paranormal investigation team
Yeah.
went
Yeah. And it
and
was
was down
before
there.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But
They're and man,
yeah.
I mean,
These two investigations,
do you do you think? Yeah, these two investigations were crazy, and we're gonna
yeah,
talk a little bit more
they
about that.
happened like virtually back to back.
My name is John.
Well,
Hi, John.
my name is John's too.
Yeah.
Good. That is the best name out there. I'm just saying. I'm uh these two investigations they didn't happen back to back. They
Yeah.
were months apart because
Yeah.
they got to edit all their stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but they did talk
Pregnant.
to each other. Now, the first investigation with the group is what prompted the other investigators to go.
Yes.
They're like, we need to get up there
Yeah.
because we
Because
got
they called him and they said, "Hey, you need to come and check out this
you need to come
footage."
check this out. Come check out the raw footage. Come check this out. And they're
Yeah.
like,
And they're like,
mind
"Dude."
blown.
Yeah. And they're like,
And
"Dude, we have to go there."
yeah. And so they scheduled their trip and they went up there. And the big
Yeah.
difference between and really the big difference between the two is time of year of when these two investigation happened. So
Yeah.
one was
She
in
killed.
winter and the other one was not.
Yeah.
Down there.
But
Yeah, down there in the basement.
one set of investigators I I do like. I'm a little mad for what they've done in other
Yes.
locations,
Yes.
but I do still kind of like them. I lost a lot of respect for them
I
for
I did too.
property damage, not
Yeah.
like not for anything else, but something like that. They got too stupid,
Disrespecting,
or
yeah, disrespecting
disrespecting
the homeowner.
the
Yeah.
homeowner, and that's not cool. And
No.
that put a bad taste in my mouth. Are they good
That did.
investigators? I think they are. I think they are.
I think they're good, but they're
They're very
kids.
entertaining. They're
Yeah.
entertaining. They're just young kids that just didn't know about any better.
Yeah.
I think they do now. I think did the parent
Yes.
family ever see
We've got to
shadows
go.
or apparitions? Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yeah.
I think people are gonna think of the movie The Conjuring, and that's very much an exaggerated event of what happened.
Yes.
It's made for entertainment value when they're doing that. But yes, they saw shadow figures. They saw the apparitions of the boy. I think they even saw Abigail at one time. They definitely saw
Definitely saw Bathsheba.
Bathsheba, multiple times.
Yeah.
And Bathsheba did seem to be attacking specifically
It's
Marilyn,
outside.
and Marilyn seemed to be getting attacked nonstop
Yeah.
from this
Oh, yeah.
entity.
Carolyn,
Or
the mom,
Carolyn,
she was getting, yeah, she was just getting like waylaid by what they believe is Bathsheba. That is not a proven fact that it was
not a
Bathsheba.
proven fact.
But Bathsheba was the one who killed her kids, and that's what
And the
Carolyn
types of
tried to
attacks that
do.
were happening
Yeah.
correlated with Bathsheba, with being stabbed
So,
by a sewing pin and
yeah,
things like that.
the stuff that happened and the stuff that she saw, the apparition of the woman with the cocked neck.
Rope torture.
Rope
Exactly,
torture.
because
That's twice it
the
said that.
yeah. As soon as I said with the neck, rope
Yeah,
torture.
rope torture. But do you think Bathsheba had anything
Down
to do with
there.
the cult before her death? Because I've been wondering that, because they kind of label her like a witch
Yeah.
who
With a name like
full of-
Bathsheba, you almost have to be a witch, I think.
and yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great name though.
Yeah.
Your mom named you what?
That's a perfectly witchy name. What's your name?
What is
Bathsheba.
your
Oh,
mom?
shit,
No,
don't
I
cast a
ain't
spell on
with
me.
you.
If I run into a woman and her name is Constance and I'm not expecting her to cast a spell on me, but Bathsheba, yeah, I'm expecting some shit.
Because
Be like
they
that.
believe that after she died, because there's a story that when she died, she turned to stone.
Yeah.
Her body turned to stone after she died. And that was from the coroner at the time. In the 1800s, I think. Bathsheba?
Yeah.
mid late 1800s, I think, is when she
Not.
passed away, if I remember right.
Yeah.
I didn't write that down. But the coroner said that when they got the
Hear my
body, her body
footsteps.
had turned to stone.
Hear my footsteps.
Hear my footsteps. Well, you have to stomp. Okay.
That was something in the investigation. The last investigation that I watched, there were footsteps.
Abigail.
Abigail.
Hello, Abigail.
Hello,
Hear
Abigail.
my footsteps,
Hear my
Abigail.
footsteps, Abigail. Because that was the thing. It was Abigail in the
Oh,
investigation that
stomp
would walk
loud.
up to them.
Okay, you need to stomp louder because I've seen the investigations. You got heavy footsteps. So, but I think
Yeah.
I heard a bang when I said you need to be louder in my
Yeah.
house. It could have been my daughter, but that's interesting. Hear my footsteps. It's Abigail.
Abigail.
And that's the other thing. You have this very beautiful, divine, benign, whatever you want to call it, entity in this house of Abigail. But yet it's contradictive with this very malevolent, evil Bathsheba spirit that's in this house.
Yeah.
It's very, 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 very interesting. Very interesting. And it almost feels like a power struggle inside there. And I don't know.
I mean, it seemed like with the last investigation that I saw, and I think it kind of does it justice that way. Abigail in the house can kind of control the good stuff, and is intelligent, talks to the people.
The children are listening.
That
It's got a pain in my back.
My intelligence number
I
just
want to
went
leave.
up. Somebody wants to leave. You can leave if you want. We'd love for you to stay.
I swear to God, I feel like I just got stabbed in my back. Oh.
I feel like somebody just went like this to the back of my neck.
Oh.
But the children are listening. Military, Abigail, footsteps, dude. This is cool. This is an interesting thing. I mean, just what we're getting now. It's raising my numbers up. So, God, there was something I was going to say and I totally lost my train of thought.
I think we're talking about Abigail controlling the good inside the house.
Controls the house, controls what's going on in the house, and so you get primarily good spirits in the house. But once they got down to the basement, something darker came out.
That seems about right. Like,
yeah.
And even the attic, there was something dark in there, though.
There was something going on in the attic.
Upstairs, I should say.
Upstairs, in the upstairs room. Well, the second floor where all the daughters were with the parent family, that's where all the negative activity toward the daughters was happening.
Yeah.
Activity.
Activity.
Yeah. They were being pulled, doors opening and slamming shut on them. They were getting pulled off the bed.
Yeah.
They just like shit like that was happening to them. They were constantly, like nightly, they were being
tormented. Just tormented.
They were just being tortured. Like they were just
like rope torture.
Yeah, rope torture.
Stringing them along. Okay. So a lot of bad shit happens with the Perron family for 10 years.
Yeah. So
until they could finally move out of that place.
Yeah. So, but Carolyn allegedly did history on the home, of course, and discovered that it had been in the same family for 8 generations, and that many of them had died under mysterious or horrible circumstances.
Yeah. Suicides, hangings, poisons, murdering of children.
Drowning in the creek.
Drowning in the creek.
Yeah. One was murdered.
Yeah.
Several of them were hanged themselves in the attic.
Yeah. Suicide. Yeah.
So that it kind of explains why there's negative stuff
That explains why they keep saying rope torture.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now sister, Abigail's sister.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and there's a quote here. It says, whoever the spirit was, she perceived herself to be the mistress of the house, and she resented the competition my mother posed for that position. Oh, this was Andrea Perron, the oldest daughter, who said this.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
Crying.
Yeah. So Bathsheba,
are you aware I'm here?
I'm very aware that you were here.
Lived on the property in the mid 1800s. She was rumored to have been a Satanist, and there was evidence that she had been involved in the death of a neighbor's child, though no trial ever took place.
Oh, just a little hearsay when it came to that.
Yeah, just a little. Man, you killed your daughters.
That's a little.
I think you killed the neighbor's daughter. So, what does it say? Okay. According to Andrea, again, this is the older daughter, and this is interviewing her as an adult recently. The family experienced other spirits as well that smelled like rotting flesh and would cause the beds to rise off the floor. She claims her father would enter the basement and feel a cold, stinking presence behind him.
Oh.
And often stayed away from the dirt-floored cellar. But the heating equipment would often fail mysteriously.
Bernadette.
Causing Roger to venture down into the basement again.
That's interesting considering what happened.
Yes, it's me.
During that investigation.
In that investigation.
Oh, I like it. I like it. I like
Interesting.
it.
Okay, so let's get to the seance.
Okay.
Okay, so Ed and Lorraine Warren get called in.
Yes.
Lorraine performs a seance in the house.
Yes.
Right. To which Andrea, the oldest daughter,
don't understand.
secretly witnessed.
Yes.
So she said, I thought I was going to pass out. My mother began to speak a language not of this world in a voice not her own.
Yes.
Her chair levitated and she was thrown across the room.
Is your name Bathsheba? It says, yes, it's me, my name. Sorry. Yeah. Thrown across the room.
Or is this Carolyn?
Or is this Carolyn? Or is it still Abigail?
Killed.
Well, that was mine.
That was yours. So, yeah. Now, after the seance, though.
Yeah.
It's what I want.
Kicks Ed and Lorraine out.
Yeah. The Roger kicks the Warrens out.
Like, no.
No. Because he's worried about his wife, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now he's freaking out about his wife. He doesn't know what to do. And the best thing he could think of is kick the people out he thinks is responsible for what's happening to her.
Right. So he kicks them out. They're in financial distress, so they can't leave.
No. Like I said, they stay in the house. Years.
Yeah, they stay in the house until 1980. And then when they move, apparently the activity completely stops
for me.
Because they're no longer on the property that doesn't necessarily belong to them. The land belongs to the Richardson family and that bloodline.
Yeah.
So I think that's apparition. I think that's a very a key element. And I think the people that show up for investigations and to stay in the house that are not of the bloodline are going to get activity. Shit's going to happen.
Guilty.
Thank you. Okay. So this was something I didn't want to talk about too much, but as we were talking about this,
I think we have to talk about this.
I think we have to mention this. So Cody and Satori are known as the paranormal couple.
Now Satori is the daughter of Jason Hawes.
Yeah, that's like
the grand. Right. paranormal royalty, especially when it comes to being on television, right? Him and Grant created Ghost Hunters together. Just a bunch of plumbers working for Roto-Rooter who love investigating the paranormal. Great
Mario and Luigi
debunkers.
doing ghost hunts.
Yeah, great debunkers and everything. I've always enjoyed watching their stuff.
I've always been a fan of them. They're the originators of the paranormal investigation.
And Satori and Cody have been together for quite some time, and
they started together on Ghost Adventures. On Ghost Hunters with Taps.
Yeah.
But they noticed that together, the two of them have an unusual ability.
And I've seen them do this on Ghost Hunters.
Yeah.
And their dad going, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. I didn't see it on Ghost Hunters. The first time I saw it was on
the first time I saw it was, this is not the first time I saw it was not those first two investigations. I was shocked in the first investigation seeing those two there. And I even looked up, I went to the Conjuring House website like I talked about with you and Billy. I went to the website and they were not listed as staff. They are currently listed on there now, though.
Yeah.
They are listed on there.
Yeah. So because they're listed as staff now, we kind of have to talk about it because they're involved directly with the house.
Yeah. And they have this, and they've tried to debunk it. They've tried and tried and tried.
I tried. I'm just amazed.
Gift together, or if they, I don't want to say hold hands because they're not necessarily holding hands, but when they make contact with each other,
they said that the wrists and the forearms, that's like the strongest connection.
They create this link to the other realm. That's the only thing I can really said Bob and then Jacob. At least it wasn't Bob and then Neil.
Well, the thing is, and just from what I saw and what I felt, I think they create a portal.
The crazy thing is, okay, they do this outside.
Yes. And you can hear
it. It doesn't just, you don't just hear it. It still sounds like people walking across with boots on across the hardwood floor.
Yeah.
Outside. I don't even understand how that
in the corner.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't want to say it freaks me out, but they have this thing where they say the ABCs and communicate.
Yeah. No, I'm fascinated. So here's what they do.
And I like the term the COS method. I really like it.
I think that's a great way to term it. So the CAS method, meaning Cody and Satori, they link up skin on skin. So either they're holding each other's forearms or they hold each other's hands sometimes or whatever. Once they do that, you hear footsteps. Run now. You hear footsteps.
Yeah.
Coming from a distance, coming toward them.
Yeah.
And in the house, it was Abigail that would run up, and it was like, Abigail, is that you? And you get 1 for yes, 2 for no.
It's what I want.
It's what, okay. I'm glad. So, and then Satori would recite the alphabet. And when it came to the letter that they wanted to spell,
it would
much like a Ouija board, there would be a knock.
Yeah.
And this happened continuously inside. And one of the things, I mean, the investigative team that was there, the last one that I watched, well, either one, they were getting their own relatives showing up and speaking to them, and with intelligent words, saying actual sentences about stuff.
And then talking about people that they didn't even know the names of, and
they didn't even know.
Text their parents or someone to find out. Yeah. Oh shit!
They didn't even know. Like like another Bob. It's like, we don't know another Bob, and it turns out their grandpa Bucky was Bob.
And I got Bob here. Just so
and Bob's there. We have Abigail, so we might as well have Bob. I'm wondering if we're going to have Tom, but I think this is more
We like
Cody
to
and
be left
Story
alone.
doing
You
than it
say that
is
wrong.
that.
What is this?
I think they are two types of medium, right?
Yeah,
You have the magnet and you have
the metal.
Hey, we need to hold hands.
So you and I are gonna hold hands. We'll see if we get okay.
My body's around here.
Your
Nobody's
body's
around here.
No, my body's around here.
My body's around here. Oh, I thought it said nobody's around here.
It's like
that'd be
one's the
interesting
magnet and the other's the
'cause you're
medium,
'cause-
right?
Yeah, because I'm like you're the battery and I'm the medium.
Right? So it feels like, and then when they connect, it's like plugging in the 9-volt.
Yeah, it's like
And
you're completing the circuit, and
yeah, it's like hitting the switch.
and it's like a phone to the afterlife, and
we gotta try this, Dave.
we gotta try this. So I messaged them, and I'm gonna see if they respond. I want to see if I can get them on the show.
I would love to have those two on the show. One, I'm big fans of the family.
Their brain because
and
if they were doing this,
Cody in season 1 did come on the show on the chat and said hello.
Oh, that was that Cody.
That's the Cody that came on.
Okay, yeah. So we need to hit. Yeah.
Cody has come on the show saying, "Hey guys, saw you're starting off new. Just want to say what's up." No shit, really. That's that Cody. I was like, "Holy shit, I know who that is." That's Cody. Cody's story. He's dating Jason Hawes' daughter, and yeah. And if I remember right, he's still a follower on Facebook, on the Spirits channel. But I would love to have them, give them some screen time and talk to them about this. And of course, I want to talk about other investigations because they've been on quite a few investigations with ghost hunters. I want to talk to them about that.
Yeah.
And things that they've done.
That leads me to believe that because I didn't see them do anything outside of the Conjuring House.
Oh yeah.
But if they've done that, then that just confirms my theory.
And her dad is like, okay, how do I debunk this? He's a debunker first. And even he said he's gone on after all because
hell.
Okay, all right. Just so everybody knows, the two investigations that we're really talking about here is Sam and Colby, and Project Fear. When the Sam and Colby thing happened, and they started getting a bunch of flack about it being fake and everything, his dad is Satori's dad, Jason Hawes, actually went online and is like, I don't know what's going on. I can't explain it. It's something that happens when those two touch together. And that's about all I can say about it. I don't know what it is. We've talked about it. They don't necessarily know what it is either. All they know is that they can do it. And I would love to have those guys come on and just be like, hey, let's talk, because I don't, I want to talk about their experiences because they're at the Conjuring House all the time. I'd love to talk to them about their experiences at the Conjuring House and other investigations, but of course I want to talk about this gift that they have. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I've never heard
amazing. It's such a fascinating thing.
I want Billy and Sean to go up there. I want Billy and Sean to go up there and experience it for themselves, and let me know what happens. That's
bring us.
Bring us. And we'll set up the Wi-Fi, get it all connected.
We'll do the live cast. We'll set up all the camera. Yeah, we'll do all that work. We'll do all the grunt work, set everything up. We'll go live. We'll do it. We'll record a documentary with it. I think that'd be awesome. I'd be down for that. And I was just blown away.
I'm still blown away. Just thinking about it, I'm still blown away. And when I think about what they do, it's like me and you holding hands.
We have spoke before.
And I've never once. You said that twice now. I'm glad we spoke before, and I'm interested to try it. I wish we would have saw these while you were here.
I know.
I
wish I'd have known while I was there. We could have gone to Cheeseman Park and we'd be like,
I was like, yeah, we would have been the two weird guys holding hands together in the middle of this park. But
it wouldn't have been any weirder than what we saw at the park already.
No, I'd be like, give the phone to one of the wives and like, record this for us, please.
Record this for us. We're going to see if we can get anything.
I mean, there's been some amazing investigations at the Conjuring House, and there's some amazing things happening there.
That's what we want.
And the addition to Satori and Cody with what they can do, might be demonic, but it's amazing. I mean, it just brings more out of this place. And the only thing that bothers me is they do it in the basement, which is a place I would have thought Bathsheba would come through.
But something did that was malevolent.
Well, that's true.
Whatever it was wanted the girls only to go in the woods.
Terrifying.
That's true. That's true. It was terrifying.
And sent the one guy over by himself in the corner.
Yeah.
And then when they, because there was something dark that came into that basement.
Yeah.
And they felt it once, they were like, oh, okay.
And it does feel like there is a proximity there.
Yeah, there's like an aura. There's like an aura
that opens up
radius. To where how far they can go. Because they had sent one of the guys upstairs and had the ghost follow, and you could hear the footsteps lead away.
I did hear a bang upstairs. They don't acknowledge it, but I heard a bang upstairs when they told him to do that. I heard it, and he doesn't acknowledge it. I'm like, how did he not hear that? I heard that.
Yeah,
I was like, you're not going to talk about that? I heard that.
Yeah, and then of course there was no physical touching because they were trying to get him to do that.
Yeah.
But it does make me feel like a Wi-Fi signal. Like there's a radius.
Yeah.
That because it's.
Well,
I think you've got a power,
magnet,
power source.
Power. Yeah.
You got a power source and you've got a medium.
Yeah. Like I said, dude, we could do this.
I think we could do this.
I am definitely a power source. I am I'm a Tesla coil, bro.
I am just well, that's why you had more energy in your house than I did, because I was getting fucking.
You were getting slammed, bro.
I was getting drained.
Oh,
I didn't start coming out of that until Friday night. So I really only had like Friday night and Saturday were the best days I had, and I still even had to take a nap on Saturday.
It can hear you.
Yeah. Well, Dave, you ready to throw some numbers at this?
Yeah, let's throw some numbers at this. And boy, I think I overscored this, but I'm also hoping that I underscored it.
I might have overscored it, but at the same time, maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm right on. So we're gonna discuss this right now and see.
Let's talk residuals. The first thing we look at is the residual haunts, and I do think this is one location where there is every type of haunt.
Now, when we talk, so first things first, before we get into the scoring, when we talk about the Conjuring House, we talk about the whole property, right?
Yeah, the land and everything.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and that's kind of how I scored this. That's why I want to make sure that we're on the same page here. Yes. So
wait, I've got before we do that shit, I've got clips and I've got pictures.
Okay.
Hey. So first, let's go to the clip I have here. So if you expand this, there's an apparition in the window.
Yeah, I can see that. I could see that.
Kind of see that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I have this one.
Let's see what this one looks.
I couldn't quite make anything out with it.
I think there's something there.
There's something there. I like
it's the very top.
Yeah.
But also the first pane
I'm
of the
very down
bottom
the
set
road.
of glass seems like the midpoint. So I would this would be a very big entity.
Yeah. This would
I
be a tall entity or something crawling on the roof, on the ceiling.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is when I look at this, the thing I hate saying this because it's The Conjuring and it's Ed Lorraine Warren. When I look at that face in that top pane, I think of the nun.
Oh wow, that's an interesting thought. And then
I
take a
don't.
look at this.
Now this is almost like there's a person standing right there.
Yeah. And of course, this is in the basement.
Yeah.
So there's an entity there. I can make out arms and torso and legs and a head.
Yeah. There's definitely somebody there. Now, could that be Abigail? Could that be Bathsheba? We don't know.
We don't know. It's gray. So we talked about the gray
Yeah,
figure.
the in between.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Someone
a humanity and a shadow figure
transitioning.
in transition. Yeah.
And then I have a clip from the investigation. There's an audio element. I cut the voices out for copyright. There's an audio element, and then there's a visual element where a shadow figure blocks a reflector from the property line, and you can see it. So check this out.
All right, I'm down with it. Something walked by there. Walked by there. But
something walked by that reflector.
I don't know. It sounded like someone was trying to say something or
it was like they were walking, and all of a sudden it was like, huh. Like it was like, huh. I was like, whoa.
That's crazy.
But this was the two girls were by themselves.
Yes.
And they were walking along toward the property line, and they kept seeing figures walking back and forth at the property line.
That takes me to that soldier thing, I think.
Yeah.
Multiple wars.
Yeah, and this was after they had called the girls by themselves to go in the woods from the basement. They were like, send the girls in the woods.
Yeah.
And they all went over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all went over there, and then the two girls went by themselves.
Yeah. They all went outside, and then they continued walking.
That was Satori and Chelsea.
Yes.
From Project Fear. They went to the woods by themselves together and got that stuff, and they came right back, and they were like, no, screw that.
Yeah. 1800.
And then Chelsea went by herself and got that footstep.
Yeah.
And then they all ran there, and they felt like there was a body buried, like right there.
Wouldn't surprise me in that area.
Yeah. Later on, Chelsea and Tanner went by themselves all the way to the property line.
Yeah.
And at where the rest of the group was, Satori and Cody were doing their thing, and it said, send him back.
Yeah. No. Just you. Send him away.
Send him back. Like, he needs to come back here.
Yeah.
And then they got they got footsteps behind them, like someone was coming on, like advancing toward them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, dude, there was something dark there that was like going, like wanting to get those girls
separated.
I once lived here.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
All right. Now we can continue with the score. I had to.
All right. So
I had that
residual. I thought about the whole property.
Yes.
I thought the residual was actually really good here.
I agree.
I ended up scoring it an 8.
One lady here.
I landed on the residual.
That's a good score. I went 7, but I can totally go up to an 8.
Yeah, I
think an 8. I think an 8 works.
For me, that's where I'm at. I really like it. I think you should change your score.
I did. I already changed it. You don't even have to tell me, bro.
How did you feel on the intelligence here?
Dude, I think the intelligent, and was it Cody and Satori kind of overlap here because they got so much intelligent responses. from multiple entities.
Okay, so the intelligence was good here before
that.
before they got there. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you watch these two
Yeah.
investigations.
Yeah. And then we get Abigail here.
We get Abigail here. We get the footsteps.
We get Bob. We get the, listen for my footsteps.
Yeah.
And then, there we got a lot of intelligent responses.
Some interesting, very, very interesting. So how did you land though? That's the question.
So I was at a 9. I upped it to a 10 with the responses that we were getting.
I was at a 10.
Okay.
I had to when like if I cut Satori,
Bill, brother, thank you so much for joining us.
Bill, appreciate you. If I cut
battle here.
Okay, if I cut the Satori and Cody out, or
Rome.
Kobe or Cody? Cody. Yeah, because it's Sam and Kobe, and it's Satori and Cody. If I cut Satori and Cody out, I would have landed at an 8 here.
Yeah.
But with what they're doing,
they're on the staff.
They're a human Ouija board. It's the cast method is just crazy.
Yeah.
So I had to be at a 10.
Yeah, I agree.
Poltergeist activity. And for some reason, I think I might actually outscore you on this one.
Okay.
Because I think about what happened with the Perrin family. I think about what's going on since the Perrin family.
Yeah.
There is a lot of poltergeist activity going on. Whether it be lights flickering, camera malfunctioning, battery drainage, possible boiler issues, and that's associated with the Perrin family and also with the investigation. Doors closing, balls being played with, rocking chairs moving, chairs being lifted and thrown across the room during a seance. I was at a 10.
Iron Age.
Rome the Iron Age.
Yeah. No, I'm down for a 10, bro.
I don't know where you originally landed, but there was just so much poltergeist activity going on
there. Billy.
Yeah, we need to talk to Billy.
We do need to talk to Billy. But yeah, no, I was at an 8, but there was one thing that I didn't consider, and that was Carolyn being thrown across the room.
Carolyn being thrown across the room. Carolyn being stabbed.
Yeah, stabbed with the crochet hook. I was like, no. So yeah, 10. It's a 10. It's almost an easy 10.
Yeah. For me, it was an easy 10. I
didn't write down the needle. I didn't write down the the stuff like that. So that's why I ended up at an 8. With what I was watching, but yeah, no, it's a 10.
Okay. So the non-human element here.
Yeah.
I do believe there is
I was shot.
Non-human element here. Oh, I'm sorry you were shot. It'd be weird that you got shot in the Iron Age though.
Yeah.
The non-human element here
I'm inside
is it's good.
It's good.
There's definitely something malevolent there.
Yes. But malevolent could be human spirit, not necessarily
human. I think there's definitely shadow figures there, which is non-human.
Yes.
We have the picture there where, like you did state, that was gray. So in transitioning, I would still take that and put some extra into the non-human element. What happened with Bathsheba? I don't believe she's human at all anymore, especially with possible satanic rites and things that are going on. I think she very much could have gone.
I think she's probably non-human. I agree with that.
Was I a 10 here? Absolutely not. Absolutely I landed at a 7. Dave went 8. Ooh, yeah, Scorpion on human. This is usually the one I usually outscore Dave.
I know. I went 8 here, and it was the dark entity that was in the basement. I don't know what that is. So, and then there were multiple shadow figures in the woods.
Multiple shadow figures in those woods.
There was the shadow figure in the attic.
Yeah.
And then we've got the gray
hiding in the dark.
Yeah,
hiding in the dark. And then we've got the gray, and then we've got Bathsheba. So yeah, I ended up at an 8.
I can go 8 here. I can meet you at 8. History. I liked the history.
The history here.
Great history video. I love the multiple ownerships. I love the age of it. I love that it's older than the United States.
Survived storms and wars and
multiple wars and
generations of the same family and a partridge in a pear tree and all that stuff. The Pioneer Trail with the land. I just love it.
I didn't think about the Pioneer Trail, but I really that's a really good one too.
And going back to the Nipmuc
tribe, yeah,
like thousands of years to the Nipmuc tribe.
And
there's no indication that it's burial ground or anything like that, but there's definitely an American element.
The original owner gets kicked out of Massachusetts because of the way he's thinking,
because of the separation of church and state, and that the house was built 40 years before the Declaration was signed.
That's good stuff.
I love the history here.
I'm at a 9. I could be at a 10, but I landed on the 9. How did you land here?
I did end up landing at a 10 here.
Yeah,
they're scaring me.
I scared you. Wow. That's interesting. Ooh, I'm human. I'm alive.
Ooh. So yeah, I ended up landing at a 10, like a true 10 on this. I really loved the background on the house and how long it's been up, and all the family in the house, and like I said, with the Pioneer Trail and
I didn't think about that one. I like that.
I love that with the soldiers and it went through the Revolutionary War and the Civil War and the French Indian War or whatever it was.
4 wars. I know it's gone through.
It was like 4 wars and 2 big storms, like really nasty, like shit that went through there, and the house is still standing.
It's still the original house. I mean, they've had to do some work with the plumbing and stuff. And
I was just like, man, I couldn't see. I could see a 9, but I looked at that 9 and I went, I think it's a 10.
Yeah, if I think about the Pioneer Trail being added onto that, I think I do have to give it that extra 1 point bump and take it to the 10. That's another important or historical moment in history that would be the Pioneer Trail. So I'll match your 10 there with you.
Okay.
Okay, now we get into the guts of everything here. How did you feel about manifestations, Dave?
Man, the manifestations I think is huge here.
I agree.
I think making objects disappear and reappear, the light anomalies, the shadow figures, the apparitions, I did end up at a 10.
I didn't end up at a 10. I ended up at a 9 on the manifestation.
I am actually okay with dropping my score down to a 9 because I was like, I'm going at a 10 going, I just wrote 10 and I went, is it a 10?
And that's what I did. I was like, is this place a 10? And I think about the 10s, right? Throughout 4 seasons. I think about the 10s too, and I go, no,
it's unpleasant here.
And then I said 9. I mean, 9. I think this is a 9.
Our 10s are like Notre Dame, Linda Vista, the Round Schoolhouse, Winchester, Cheeseman Park, Indiana State, the Queen Mary, Villisca, Catacombs, Idaho State, Bel Air, Stanley, and Brushy Mountain, and of course Bell Witch and Alcatraz. So we've got a lot of 10s for manifestations.
Yeah,
I'm actually okay with a 9 here.
Yeah, yeah, and I think about those places, and I think about this place, and I was like, no, I said, but 9 is really good. It's a really good 9.
Nine is the right number.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, okay, so where did you land on audio?
Audio for me was a no-brainer. This was a no-brainer for me. This was a 10 single-handedly.
Yeah. It
With the
it's a 10 just with what Satori and Cody did.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
just
and
that was a 10. I was like,
every
that was
night
fucking mind-blowing.
every night being told that there's 7 dead soldiers in the wall, the clapping game with the mocking,
Clapping
I
game, the yeah. Dude,
yeah,
I was at a full on 10 here. I was like not even I didn't
yeah,
even question it. Not to mention the fact that they went on the bridge outside and they got the same footsteps and knocking sounds. They go into the woods in the dirt and they get the
Object.
same
same
knocking sounds.
knocking sounds.
I was like, dude, that was crazy. And you could hear the footsteps
Every
from
time.
upstairs coming downstairs. And
Yes.
there was one spirit that was responding to one of the the Project Fear guys.
Did I
And
scare you?
No,
and
no,
Abigail had to go upstairs and ask the question and come back and answer. And you could
yeah,
hear the footsteps going upstairs and the footsteps coming back down. And
yeah,
then the response, and then she would, and I was like, I've never heard that before. I've never heard that happen on command
yeah. It's
repeatedly.
better than a flashlight, man.
Supply.
I'm just telling you.
I, that's better than any Ouija board I have ever seen. Any flashlight experiment. I've that that was amazing.
It was
That
great.
was that was just the most killer thing that I've ever seen. Um, Speaking of killer, where did you land on feels?
Again, I thought this one was easy for me. You got picked up and thrown across the room, you got stabbed, you got people
This
getting
was physical.
scratched,
Um,
pulled out
yeah,
of their beds. I mean, not even talking about the 10 years of emotional torment this family went through living there.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, it's an easy 10.
yeah,
Easy 10.
yeah.
I shit, just the
Banana.
emotional aspect of family members showing up and talking to you through fucking Satori and Cody.
Yeah.
It it's
Well, yeah,
phenomenal.
just like look, Sam and Colby and everybody from Project Fear, they were all crying.
I mean, yeah, just in their
Crying.
tears,
Yeah.
sobbing, crying.
Like,
I'm like,
I need to take a break.
I need to take a break.
I can't do anything right now. I mean, like, just, oh, my grandpa. I was like, no, dude,
Yeah, yeah.
that was like a no brainer. And I really think
Uptick.
it's even a 10 if you take Cody and Satori out of it.
Yeah, no, if I took Kobe and Satori out of it, I think it's still a 10.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's still a 10 without Cody and Satori.
Yeah.
Objects. This is one of your favorites here, Dave. It goes along with Poltergeist.
Yeah, it goes along with Poltergeist. We were already at 10 with Poltergeist.
Yeah.
And I was already at a 10 with objects before I changed my Poltergeist score.
Yeah.
Because there's so much manipulation of objects, even going to the boiler.
Yeah.
Because there has to be something paranormal there, either one way or another.
Yeah.
The scratch, the scratching on the
the
walls,
cowbell,
the footstep,
wall,
like you could hear the
brick,
thumping, the bang, the doors, the
things
broom
being
missing,
thrown, the broom missing, the doors, the bed
the
levitating,
the
the
equipment that they
chair
were getting.
being thrown.
There was after they left, it was just after Cody and Satori left, it was just the Project Fear guys.
Yeah.
They tried to use something called a PS device to get responses in the attic. They tried to go up on the second floor and get responses, and that PS device wouldn't even turn on.
No, it wouldn't turn on.
It was sad. It
Until
would
they
just
left the attic area.
it would just say booting up, and then it would just shut back off, and it was completely charged.
Yeah.
So they had to go to the Ovilus. And the Ovilus, it was like after those two left, all the energy drained from that house.
Yeah. Well,
And they got hardly anything after that. because all that energy went into what they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, they used all the energy for communication.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, the objects and stuff that were picked up outside.
yeah.
I was just, it was a 10. It was almost an easy no-brainer 10 for objects for me.
Disrespectful.
Sorry.
Now this next category in danger.
I think I overscored this one.
I overscored it. I overscored it. Because the things that are not happening now. The things that are not happening now.
Yeah.
Stabbed.
Left.
I say I bring danger. It says stabbed. Now it says left. Like left, not leave, but to my left. Well, if you're to my left,
stabbed on the left. So you were stabbed on the left.
Oh, that is kind of left hand side. I felt that pain in my back.
Yeah.
I scored it a 10.
Me too.
Don't think it should be.
A 10.
I don't think it should be a 10. I think the danger has died down in this place. Not that it can't ramp back up.
Well, I think that, I mean, it was definitely trying to isolate the females for something outside.
I think
there's a danger there.
There's a danger. I think if you spent a week here and and one of the investigations that I did see where I'm speaking, John, that they did stay there for a full 7 days.
Yeah.
And they did get attacked.
Yeah.
So I think the danger level has to do with how long you're going to be there, to how far the oppression and the attacks will start happening.
Yeah. Right? And your bloodline.
And yeah, definitely your bloodline. If you had someone from the Anderson bloodline there, you might be fine being in this place. And
you might actually be okay if you're part of the Richardson bloodline.
Fearful.
Or Richardson, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Fearful, yeah. But I think most people should be a little fearful going in this place, especially if you plan to stay there for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Or if you're a female staying there for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And with that, I do want to move off from my 10. And I think I want to be around that 7-8 range. And Dave's throwing up at 8.
Throwing up at 8. That's about where I'm at. I think that's yeah, I think that's good. Because I was like, oh man, what it did to Carolyn and all that kind of stuff. But there hasn't been something to that elevation since. And we've scored this way in the past because we're like, okay, shit happened, but it's not still happening.
Yeah.
And I think, most of the problem there is that people don't stay for long periods of time in that house. I think the longer you stay, the more dangerous it gets.
I've only seen one investigation there that's been there for 7 days, and they did get attacked.
Yeah.
They were scratched and they were hit.
Yeah.
So I think it just has to depend on how long you're planning on staying there. A 2-night stay, I think you might be okay.
Tori felt like she was hit in that investigation for Project Fear, where she was hurt on her neck. There was no mark.
No mark.
But she felt like something hit her in the neck.
Which is funny because during the show I felt like I got hit right here. I felt like I got stabbed in my back and got hit right here. All right.
Like I said,
so
I feel like somebody had come up behind me and touched me like this.
So before I asked for the final score, I scored a 93 on my original score.
Me too.
Well, you scored a 93 on your original?
Yes.
What was the final score?
93.
Let me show you.
First time ever. Okay.
Yeah.
One, we had the exact same score. Now, did we change it? Were our scores different in a couple different places? Yes.
Yes.
Although I think I have to say, no, I think our score was exactly the same all throughout. No, because I came up on history. You came up on residual.
Yes.
So that was our two differences in score, and we both went down on danger.
We both went down on danger because we were both at a 10. We both came down to an 8.
And we both went up to 8 on non-human.
Yeah. Now we both went up to 8, and I went.
You went up on residual. You had a 7.
I went up on residual from 7. I went 10. I went up on poltergeist, but I went down on manifestation.
Yeah, that's right.
I went down on manifestation. So, but I mean, ultimately we came back to 93.
Yeah, our original score.
So we both had the same score. We came together, and even though we changed it, we still both had the same score. We still have the same average score. That's the first time we've ever done that. 4 seasons. That's the first time that's happened.
We came up. Well, we won. We had the same score to start off with.
Yeah.
And then we still finished with the same score we started off with together.
Yes.
That's amazing. I mean, that's
never happened.
Chair of torture.
The chair of torture?
The chair of torture. We talked about that last time.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what Carolyn sat in that chair and was levitated and thrown, and she was tortured.
So I had Elijah, Mabel, and Vicky come through.
Those sound like old names.
Yeah. And then the chair of torture.
The chair of torture.
Interesting. Wow, that's a first for us, Dave. That's amazing. And now
hear me.
Tonight we're going to be going on to Scare Network and talking about the Mason House, which is the house that is based off the Scare Network documentary Maleficent. Now, this is going to be the second time we've talked and scored this place, so I'm interested to see where things line up. But what do we got for next week on Spirits to Spirits, Dave?
All right. So next week we are back to our haunted or cursed objects, and we are going to look at we're gonna look at paintings, I think.
Yeah, we're looking at paintings. We're gonna
look at the Hands Resist Him painting
on the live. Yeah,
on the live.
Yeah.
And is that the Black Orlov diamond? Is that what we're doing for?
No,
that's live stream. That's the following week.
No, we got.
The Pogo the Clown. The Gacy paint, the Gacy self portrait. Pogo the Clown painting on Scare Network.
Yeah, we don't talk about the Black Orlov dive until the 29th.
Yeah, that's because I looked like I said the 9th. I didn't see the 2.
Yes, that's my dog. So exciting stuff happening next week. I can't wait. The painting is going to be very interesting to talk about, and a little nervous. I've never talked about a painting before, so it's going to be very, very interesting to talk about.
Considering what we got with the chairs last time, I'm interested to talk about the paintings and
see where those land.
I got to tell you, that's not the only paintings.
No,
I think we're going to talk about this season. I think there's some other stuff that we can. There's a lot of paintings out there that are cursed or haunted.
Legendary paintings too. We can talk about like the guy has the painting, but he gets to live forever because of the painting.
We're talking about Dorian Gray.
Dorian Gray. You can talk about Dorian Gray's painting. I mean, not that it's ever been proven, but there's always some truth with.
I'm interested in the Crying Boy paintings. Like
Crying Boy painting? Yeah,
the Crying Boy paintings are. There's like a series of these paintings that their fires have started, and the only thing that doesn't get torched is the painting. It's like, wow, it's some crazy stuff. The Anguished Man is another like famous painting that apparently has a haunting or a curse behind it.
Another good one. Another good one.
So who knows what we wrote a whole bunch of objects down, and we're just gonna like start working it all the way through the end of the year until we come down to our final tournament at the end of the year, where we find out the most haunted or cursed object
Yes.
that we reviewed this season. I'm
Yeah.
anxious to do that tournament and see what finds out. I love our tournaments, bro. It's been we've had some really interesting things happen
Yeah.
with the cryptid and the haunted location tournament.
Yeah. That first haunted location tournament, holy shit.
Yeah, that was crazy. And then we've got another haunted location tournament happening this summer.
Yeah, right when we come back from break. Yeah.
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 So that's gonna be awesome with a tighter field this time, because we're not just picking like cities and stuff. We're picking like great locations.
Yeah.
That I mean, like I'm gonna tell you, this thing got a 93.
A 93.
It's like in 5th place.
I know. We've talked about some crazy fucking shit so far, bro.
Yeah.
We've talked about some crazy fucking shit. From mid-season of season 3 to now, we've talked about some really crazy fucking places, and I think it's just going to continue. I mean,
yeah,
we're on the right track.
It's in 6th place, so it's in 6th place, right behind the Bel Air House.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. But before we go and we say goodnight, I do want to thank Spotify for podcasters. That's what allows us to put our voice out there to where you guys can listen to, whether it be on Google Podcasts, Google Podcast, Breaker, Pocket Cast,
alone,
Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, which are all places that you can hear us. Without them, you guys wouldn't hear our lovely voices everywhere. It is a totally free service, as you can. It's a great place to start your podcasting career, and as you grow your fan base, they start helping you out monetarily by finding you sponsorships. So, check out Spotify for podcasters; they are amazing. Where streaming is why you get to see our lovely mugs that are made for radio. All your favorite places, like our YouTube channel, which is at Spirits with Spirits, or our Facebook channel, which is at Spirits Spirits JG, or our Instagram, which we've been having issues with, which is at Spirits Spirits 13. A lot of great places you can watch us live. And of course, if you can't watch us live, you can always catch us on the replay on the YouTube or the Facebook. And of course, want to thank Scare Network. We love doing these Scare Network exclusives, which we're getting ready to go do with the Mason House right after this. And also doing the brews and reviews with them, which is strictly for their YouTube page itself. Me and Dave will go on there tonight. It won't be on there tonight because we send it over to Billy and he gets to throw it on the Scare Network YouTube page. But we get to go review the actual documentary that they shot and give that as basically like an IMDb score. Basically, it's just our Dave's pure lowdown system that we're using to do it, just like we do on our show here with the paranormal and the attached objects and the aliens and all that good stuff. That's all Dave Lowe's scoring system there. So, but thank you, Scare Network, for allowing us to be part of your family. We appreciate you allowing us to do that, and we love everything you guys are doing over there. Can't wait for the Shane Lee to be downloaded. That's gonna be another good one to watch. And I think that's all the people I want to thank, besides that listens and watches, whether it be live or on the replay. You guys are amazing. Keep doing it. Tell your friends about us, tell them to like and subscribe, and help us grow that fan base. The more people we watch, the faster we get to go to these haunted locations and do our own investigations live and break those locations down for you. So
that's right.
I appreciate you.
Yep. Love it. One final question, brother. Is the Conjuring House haunted or just an active location?
No, this thing's fucking haunted. This thing's haunted. Too much intelligent here, too much poltergeist activity going on. The non-human element is phenomenal here. And even the danger. I think there's a big danger here if you stay more than that little 2-night overnight trip there. I think
they will harm you.
Yeah, they will harm you. I agree. Thank you for saying that for me. So I'd have to say this place is fucking haunted. How do you feel about it?
I agree. I think it's with Cody and Satori, though. I think it makes it even more fucking haunted.
Yeah,
and I believe
like they can give you answers to things. I
believe they open portals. They open a portal with them joining together. They open a portal to where your deceased family can come through and answer questions. And I've never seen anybody be able to do that before.
No. And to name people that you shouldn't even know nothing about, that's just crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. So if you see us doing a live investigation at some point and then John and I are holding hands,
you know why?
It's well, we love each other, but it's not because of that.
Not that kind of love.
Not that kind of love. It's we're gonna be trying. I wonder what kind of things we can do. If there's some way that we can do that, not maybe to their degree or maybe something different, but something because you being a battery, you being a power source, and me being a medium, like almost like I'm the transmitter and you're the amplifier.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we might be able to do something. I'm not saying like them, but
not like them, but maybe something
they do, but something similar maybe to it. I'd be interested to try that. I really do. I want to try my damn self.
Can you feel us?
I feel you
we
all
can feel you.
the time.
But no, this is a great show. I want to thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it.
Yes.
And again, thank you guys for watching us on the replay. But we're going to get out of here and record our show for Scare Network TV, where we're going to talk about the Mason House in Ohio. But that's it, brother.
Yeah. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's shoot a horse and
smack a baby and slap little Charlie behind his German helmet. But you guys, thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time on the Spirits with Spirits podcast. Bye, everybody.
Later, guys.